Hey guys, it's me, Johnny, Cowboy Tech, and I'm here with, guess what? You guessed it, another whiskey review. That's right. I've got another whiskey for you guys. This one is kind of special, but it's ordinary at the same time, and you'll see what I mean when I talk about it. Father's Day was just a couple weeks ago, and I meant to get to this sooner, but my daughter, who knows what I like, got me some whiskey for Father's Day. She got me whiskey, and she got me cheese, really extra sharp white cheddar cheese, really good stuff. I mean, all right, I still got a little bit, but not much. So anyway, she got me this whiskey, and I'd never bought it for myself, and she knew I was doing whiskeys under $25. So I'm like, okay. So she bought me this, and it was actually in a shoebox, and I'm like, hey, you got me some shoes? And no, she got me whiskey, which is even better than shoes, right? So anyway, it was $24.99. Did I give you a peek? See what it was? Did you see? Okay. It was $24.99, and so with tax it meant a little over $25, but we're going to let it slide. We're letting it get in there. So she got me this. That's right, Jameson. A lot of you guys know it. A lot of you guys drink it. You've seen it in almost every bar you go into. But believe it or not, I'd never drank any. I just never did. I always had something else. I'm putting a shadow on my face. I always had something else that I was drinking instead of that. So Jameson whiskey is made in Ireland. It's made in Middleton. It's where the distillery is. And I think I have a picture of the distillery here. Yep, there it is. Boink. Very old building. Actually, the river that they make the water from runs through their distillery. So they actually get the water straight out of the river on the distillery, and then they make the whiskey out of it. And it's made, all the barley's grown within like 100 miles of the distillery. That's what they make whiskey in, is in a distillery. Unless you make it in your backyard, and then, well, I'm not going to try that. But anyway, and then it's put into casks. They call them seasoned cask. I call them used because they've been used to make something else. Either they used them to make sherry, or they used them to make bourbon, which is the other kind of whiskey. Like the two whiskeys that a lot of people are familiar with, Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, both are made with new casks. And so they're charred, and they've got that deep char, and they've got all the flavor of the woods there. And so the whiskeys that they make in that are really darker and have a little bit more smoky flavor. Whereas Jameson uses these seasoned casks, so it's a smoother, more mellow flavor, and it's in there for like 3 years. I think 3 or 4 years for the standard whiskey, which is what we're going to be doing. What we're doing today. So I'm going to take that off. All right. So got my Jameson here, and I've already poured a little bit due to technical difficulties, but I'll pour a little more for you so you can see it. Got it in my Gentleman Jack glass. My wife gave me these for Christmas. She knows what I like too. One of them is whiskey. So I'm going to pour a little more so you can see it. It's very light. It is a very light color. It's a very light caramel color, or as some people might say, caramel. But I call it caramel. That's right. Although I don't call it Carmel by the Sea or Carmel Valley here in California. That actually is Carmel. But anyway, it's really light, and that's because of those used or seasoned. Does used equal seasoned? So you could sell seasoned cars? I'm a seasoned car salesman. I sell seasoned cars. It was flavored by an old man who smoked cigars and had a dog that slept in the back seat. That's a seasoned car. Anyway, so it's a mellower color. It's triple distilled, which means they take the mash, and the way they make whiskey, most of you know, is they boil it, and the alcohol evaporates out before the rest of everything else and goes through, and it comes down and it cools down, and it condenses back into a liquid, and it falls into something that catches it, a vat. Well, Jameson does that 3 times. They take it from a liquid to a vapor back to a liquid 3 times. And they have their stills, the copper stills. There you go, right there. Up there. That's how. They have copper stills that they do it with, and it makes it smoother. It also makes it takes a lot more impurities out of it, because every time you turn it into a gas and back it. In fact, that's exactly how rain works in the real world. Is that water gets turned into a gas, it goes up, it evaporates, all the solids and crap stays on the bottom, and then it goes up and gets cold and comes back down as rain. And so, fresh rainwater. Well, so let's give it a taste. So obviously, I've drank some of this before. As you can see, the bottle is not full. And in all honesty, I'm not the only one that's been drinking it. It's a very smooth whiskey. It doesn't have a lot of harshness. It doesn't have a lot of bite to it. It's really smooth. And that's good. It's an alcoholic drink, and you can tell it's an alcoholic drink. What's the percentage of... this is only 40% alcohol by volume, okay? Which makes it 80 proof, where some of the other things I drink are 90 proof. So they're a little stronger. This is real smooth. This is a great, if you want to start drinking whiskey, this is a great beginner's whiskey. Now, I wouldn't mix this, because it's too nice of a whiskey to dilute and mix. It would probably work good, but I wouldn't mix Jameson with anything other than Jameson, or maybe a little water or some ice. But yeah, it's a decent whiskey. It's, like I said, really light. It's really smooth. Even my wife likes it. And she's not a whiskey drinker. She's more of a wine girl. But she sipped some of this the other night and liked it. Told me it was good. So maybe we found something we can share. I'll turn it into a whiskey girl yet. You watch. So guys, if you don't have a son or daughter that loved you enough to buy you whiskey for Father's Day, like mine did, and you want to spend $25 or so for some sipping whiskey, and you don't want nothing really strong, I recommend Jameson Whiskey. It's triple distilled. It's really smooth. Not a lot of strong flavors. It's a good whiskey flavor. It's not like some of the other bourbons and whatnot. It's an Irish whiskey. It's very good. So give it a try. Well, as always, if you like this video, click the like button. If you didn't like this video, don't click the like button. Click subscribe, and also click the little over there, the little bell icon. Anytime I put something up new, you get a notice. I'm not making any money off of these things. I'm doing it purely for fun, purely because I like whiskey, purely because I like making videos. So if there's something you want me to review, I'll be happy to do it. Just tell me what you would like to see. Any whiskey manufacturers out there, I'm willing to try anything. Jameson, if you want to send me some Jameson glasses instead of Gentleman Jack, I'll do that. I'll show them off on the thing. I'll even put just where they find them in the doobly-doo. But, meantime, awesome. Either way, I'm doing it for fun, not for profit. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Please subscribe. And I think coming up next, some Jim Beam Devil's Cut, maybe? It seems to be a pretty popular drink. We'll give that one a try. All right, till next time, this is Cowboy Tech saying, stay safe.